Today, I'm going to be taking this tiny grape seed and turning it into an absolute monster. I'm talking giga grape levels. Will I be able to do it? To make that happen, I basically need to terraform my entire rainforest, get sprinklers, and summon a bunch of dinosaurs. I'm so looking forward to it. With the right tools, I'll turn the seed into an unstoppable purple beast. I like our big purple friend, Barney. Honestly, it's going to be a huge challenge, but that's what makes it fun, right? This is my farm. I have to clear it out and wipe it into oblivion. I don't wanna. Bro, look, I even have some stacked Rosy Delights here that I do not want to give up. Look at the price of this one. I even have some that are 12 bill, 13 bill. I did not want to give these up. Well, we gotta do what we gotta do for the challenge, right? Well then, no more diddly daddling, let's get to it. I bulldozed the entire thing like a man with a mission, and that mission was grape domination. I get so sad destroying my farm because I put so much work, grind, and time to getting it into where it is now, and it's kind of sad just to see it all go, but I am glad that they do have reclaimers in the game, so that allows me to save some important plants that I do not want to get rid of. The other ones, they're just getting shoveled away because we can always get them, especially the carrots, strawberries. Those are so easy to get, so hopefully I don't miss them too much. That being said, if you're ever doing any remodeling, please make sure you craft reclaimers. They come in handy and they save a lot, especially if you do not want to get rid of your plants, then reclaim them so you can use them later. While packing up my farm, I also decided to pack up my obby so that way it wouldn't look too cramped and so I can finally look up the sky. My entire rainforest gone in the blink of an eye. But I didn't just destroy it for fun. Mostly. I recently planted a premium seed and boom, I got a golden grape seed, which is way better than the carrot, so I was pretty delighted. And I thought, what if I don't just grow the seed? What if I grow the biggest grape in the entire server? Maybe even the world. I mean, I don't see anyone else growing grapes, so why not? Now to make this work, I'm gonna need a few very specific items. Sprinklers, lots and lots of grapes, and an army of dinosaurs. Here's me standing next to my premium golden grape that I got from a super seed, and I think it's time to start. First, I replanted a bunch of regular grape seeds next to my golden one. Gotta keep Barney and his friends together. Next, I gently watered them to make them bigger. I did a lot of AFKing to get these watering cans, so we definitely should have run out, but if we do, I can always just get more. As you can see, the grape stalks grow pretty quickly, but we're gonna have a lot of issues when it comes to the grapes itself. So I'm just gonna drag these watering cans to my hotbar for later and just move a couple of other items that I might need. Let's drag these basic sprinklers down. Let's move the berry bush one to the end. Let's grab the godly sprinkler, the advanced sprinkler as well, and of course we cannot forget the master sprinkler. After watering them for a little bit, I then unleash the sprinkler army. Let's place the basic sprinkler, the advanced, the godly, and the master. Now I'm gonna take out the watering can and water them to oblivion. Watering the grapes definitely does take some time and a lot of manpower because my fingers are falling off with all this clicking. I also just learned that it's not good to spam click the watering can. It's actually good to give it an interval of maybe 2 seconds before clicking again just to get the most use out of it, but who cares? We have so many watering cans anyways and we can always get them super easily. So I'm gonna spam them to oblivion just to get these grapes to grow faster. Also, I'm gonna harvest the ones that already exist just so I can have a chance to get a larger grape. I got out the favorite tool, unfavorited them, and then harvested the rest of them. Not gonna lie, the grapevines are built a little different, so it's kind of hard to reach them. Now, I did have to put my skills to the test. I went to the back of the vine and tried to parkour on top of it, but honestly, it was not going well. As you can see, my parkouring skills are not that good, which is one of the reasons why I don't play a lot of obbies, because I do terrible at them. We finally made it to the edge of this vine. We got the grape, and now hopefully it can grow a lot bigger, but I'm just gonna take out the watering can again and just get the spamming just to get these grapes to go to the fullest. I've been watering these grapes for a while and honestly they're doing kinda good with growing, but they're taking so long. Oh my goodness, I never knew grapes would take this long. Bro, I'm gonna be dust by the time it's fully grown. And looking at the sprinklers, I feel like I'm gonna have to end up placing more anyways because they're taking so long to grow. Finally, after 10 years, they're fully grown. It's about time. I did let them grow a little bit with the sprinklers before I moved on to the final and most important step. And lastly, I summoned my adorable horned minions, the Triceratops. I hatched 5 of them so far from the dinosaur egg, so I'm gonna place every single last one of them so that way I can get the best chances ever. These guys are literally so useful and so adorable. For their ability, they literally ram into your crops every 3 minutes or so just to help them grow faster. Who knew dinosaurs can make such good farmers? If you don't have any, then I highly recommend placing and hatching dinosaur eggs. That's how you can get the Triceratops, and they're relatively easy to get as long as you can get lucky. If you don't get one in your first egg, then keep trying. You never know when you'll get lucky. I mean, look, I had 4 eggs placed, and in the first egg I got a Triceratops. If you ever need more dinosaur eggs, I'm gonna give you a tip to getting a lot. In the middle, there's a dino DNA machine where you can submit pets for eggs, an ancient crafting area, and some prehistoric quests you can get from Blair. Submitting pets to the DNA mutation area is probably one of the easiest things to do. I highly recommend hatching some common eggs and submitting those pets directly into the mutation machine, so that way you can get some very easy eggs. Also, you can craft some, but it does require a bone blossom, which might be difficult to get if you haven't completed all the quests yet. And finally is the prehistoric quest. If you're lucky, sometimes you can get eggs as a reward, but the missions are hit or miss. They can be lengthy sometimes, or other times they can be relatively simple. Hopefully you can get lucky and hopefully you can get a lot of them, but hatch the dinosaur eggs just to see if you can get some Triceratops. Also, if you decide to go the crafting route, I highly recommend placing down some patchies because they have a chance to duplicate any crafting items that you get. I'm assuming the more that you have placed, the higher your percentage increases, but who knows. Now we'll just wait because grapes kind of take forever to grow. No, seriously, I could grow a beard and learn a second language by the time these finish growing. I mean, you're probably wondering why I even chose them to begin with. Well, because grapes are majestic. They're juicy, they're purple, and I also got one from the premium pack and didn't want to waste it. Simple math, right? After 30 minutes and several crash outs, the grapes are finally ready. Now it's time to inspect them and find the chosen one. Honestly, a lot of these grapes really aren't cutting it. I did find a few that are large, but they really aren't that large. So I repeated the process over and over and over again. I did end up finding some grapes that are pretty large, but respectfully, they're not that large. I kept trying, kept favoriting the ones that seemed to be relatively big, but honestly, they were not doing well. So here's a time lapse of me repeating the process over and over again. I just harvested any that were super small while I waited for any large grapes to spawn in. So these are the grapes I was left with at the end of the night. I went through them and I did find a couple that were pretty large. Here's one of them that I found was large. This one was actually 17.7 kg. Here's another one that I found was large. This one was just 22 kg, so it was just slightly larger but not that large, but hey, it still counts. Check the prices of both of them. The gold one definitely had a lot of more value to it compared to the regular one, but they were basically larger than any grape that I could get at the moment. Now at this point, guys, I kind of was losing hope on these grapes. With every other plant, it's been reasonably easy to grow large fruits, but with grapes, for some reason, they just don't want to grow big at all. Nonetheless, I kind of crashed out. I crashed out for real. I just decided to scrap it all, guys, and just remove all the grapes. I was truthfully crashing out at this point. If it's not giving me any gigantic purple grapes, then why not just remove it all and just stick with the one and truly. After I scrapped them all, I just basically went AFK for the night, and I thought that was it, guys. I really thought that was it. The next day arrived and something magical happened while I was working on my dino quest. So I was harvesting some coconut with my Triceratops active, just smacking into the trees to help me with this quest out, and surprisingly, one of them actually smacked into my grape tree and something magical happened. Yo, trikes are up! Look, guys, we got one! I think this is the largest grape that I've gotten so far, and it's a golden one. Look at it. Now, I didn't want to, guys, but per the challenge, I had to pick it, okay? In order to find out how much kg it had. I'm really sad about this, but it has to be done. It's time, so I took out the favorite tool, I unfavorited the grape, I jumped on top of it, and then I gathered that boy. Now it's time to check the size. This is how large the monster looks in my hand, and this is how much kg it— What? That's it? Guys, how is this 11 kg? But these are 17 kg and 22 kg. It doesn't make any sense. What? Well, hey, at least it looks the largest. Like and subscribe if you thought this was a good challenge, and let me know down in the chat what's the largest grape you've ever grown.